Hardly a day goes by without news of a new Ukrainian commando raid on targets in Russian-occupied Ukraine. Sometimes there are even hints of sabotage or possibly assassinations organized by Kiev within the Russian Federation. Last week saw a particularly dramatic raid in which Ukrainian commandos skimmed the western Black Sea and rigid-hulled inflatable boats to retake several oil rigs just east of Snake Island. These platforms, nicknamed Boyko Towers, were captured long before the invasion February 2022. It was captured by Russia in 2015 after the annexation of Crimea 2014. Ukraine's defense ministry, as always, was quick to tout military success, and country's military intelligence agency called raid strategic importance, stating, Russia has been deprived of ability to fully control waters Black Sea. This brings Ukraine a few steps closer to taking back Crimea. These Ukrainian raiders may have been trained by the United Kingdom's Royal Marines and Army Commandos, who trained nearly 1,000 of Ukraine's elite soldiers in Britain earlier this year on how to carry out small boat amphibious assaults. And this training has clearly been used to good effect, not only at westernmost tip of Black Sea, but also for numerous raids along Dnipro River, as well as for an attack on Crimean peninsula last month, where large numbers of Russians were reportedly killed. But like the British during the Second World War, Ukraine may be claiming more military importance and value for its commando raids than it can possibly warrant, and evaluations of their impact may be overextended. The history of the British Royal Marines and Army Commandos dates back to the Second World War. Following the evacuation of British forces from France at Dunkirk, wartime leader Winston Churchill wanted to see hit-and-run attacks on the coasts of Nazi-occupied Europe. On June 6, 1940, he noted enterprises should be prepared with specially trained Hunter-class units that can develop the reign of terror on these shores. Above all, the butcher and exile policy. Part of Churchill's thinking was that such coastal raids would boost British morale and would also demonstrate Britain's determination never to surrender to the enemy. With any luck, this would inspire others in the occupied countries to resist and weaken German morale. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy Marcus this was thinking behind United States President Franklin D. Roosevelt's order for Doolittle Raid on Tokyo in 1942. He wanted boost morale after shameful attack on Pearl Harbor. And best way do that was return war normal. But despite claims made in the many books films that have appeared over years, wartime British commando raids, although daring, dangerous, inspiring and morale-boosting, were arguably of varying success military significance. The most successful of these was Operation Chariot 1942, amphibious assault on the heavily defended port of Saint-Nazaire in German-occupied France, which a former U.S.